So what kind of teacher, or what do you teach?
So I'm at Sumner Academy. I teach a personal and professional skills class, and I teach an IB higher level history course, and I teach an IB world religions course.
How long have you been teaching?
This is my 20th year teaching.
Okay. How would you define your IB history course?
IB history is wonderful. It's an eye-opening opportunity for students who like history to pursue a specific interest in learning what historians do. It gives you a chance to not just study history in terms of like chapters. It allows you to really focus on one topic and study it really, really well. And so it creates like the model college student, because we look at an event and we look at it in terms of all of its perspectives, and it's great. It allows you to like live the history instead of just studying.
What kind of teacher would you describe yourself as?
Oh, I'm super easygoing. I take late work. I don't really like to lecture. I feel like my class is like a community. I learn from my students like I want them to learn from me. I think there's a mutual respect there. I work with seniors, so I get the chance to really kind of see them at their best. And so I'm super easygoing, and I like to laugh. I live my life by laughing. That's what gets me through life, and so I try to do that in my classroom.
What assessments do you typically give your students?
Assessments. So I really don't like to assess students in the traditional way. Paper, pencil, questions that have no really just anything other than arbitrary yes or no or multiple choice. I really like to hear what students think, and so I reward a lot of participation, a lot of interaction, group talk. I feel like if a student can't communicate in a certain way, then I need to find an alternative way to assess that person. So every student learns differently, and I need to be able to adjust to every kid, and that's what I try to do.
And for the final question, how do you grade your students? Like, in what kind of sense?
What do you mean?
What kind of on a like how hard do you feel you grade your students?
Yeah, so I don't really necessarily think about grading in terms of hard or easy. I look to make sure that what I want the student to learn, did they learn it? And if they can communicate that to me in any fashion, whether it's a paper test, or it's an oral discussion, or it's a conversation that we have in class that just says, hey, you got it, then I'm going to go ahead and reward that student for that. I think pigeonholing kids into one type of assessment, like I'm not a big fan of like the ACT as a factor to determine whether or not you're going to be successful in college. A lot of people do bad on the ACT, but end up being great college students if they're given that chance. So I try to apply the same model in my classroom.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. It's a wonderful opportunity. Appreciate it.